All right, welcome back. So today we are working on the Mojave body. As you see, we had it out, grass, mud, dog poop, all that's still on it. I do have my other body that doesn't have a guy in it, and I have the cage flipped around. Something I was trying with that body on a 5th scale, but it still works on my Mojave. That's the original body. This is the upgraded body that I put the windshield in. So I've got this compartment out. Now what I noticed is that these screws pulled through, and when I built the windshield, I drilled a hole there and a hole there so that I can get to those screws and bolt the cage down. And what I noticed is one screw was missing and the other screw had pulled through. So we're gonna have to get that fixed today. First thing I'm gonna do is get these guys taken out of here. And then we have some shocks that we have to upgrade in the rear so that it doesn't travel so far down. So we're gonna lose these 3 screws here, or 2. Oh, this back piece is going to have to come off too. And we should be able to get it out now. And that's going to stop a lot of the parasailing effect of this body. Now, as you see, this is a gray cage, and my original body came with a yellow cage. So when I upgrade it to the silver body, I had to buy all these accessories to make this body what it is, which was going to be kind of like a shelf queen body, but now it's turned into a speed body. This cage is real rigid, so you definitely want to put the cage back in. There we go. Cage is all back together. So now we're going to change out our bit. And the big portion of this is the roof slider. Bolting to this. Wasn't lining up too well. Alright, so the main part is back in. And then I need some washers. Alright, well, now we got the cage open, so that should help a lot. The next thing I'm going to be doing is adjusting these rear shocks, and then I'm going to add weight. And here's the wheel weights I use right here, and we're going to put 3.5 ounces on the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip tie a bunch of stacks of these together, tape it together. I'm not going to use the sticky part of this until I get the final weight of what I need on the front of this. But these are 0.25. You can buy these in 0.50 as well, a half an ounce or a quarter of an ounce. So I'm going to use these quarter ounce ones. I do have some half ounce ones somewhere, but we're going to go ahead and use this quarter ounce stuff. And we're going to add weight to the front of this. Now, what I need to do is get these rear shocks off, and then we're going to pull them apart, and I'm going to throw some fuel tubing in the back of this. So let me go ahead and get these shocks off. Let me break them down, and then I'll show you the fuel tubing I'm going to use. We'll be right back. Alright, so standard fuel tubing for nitro cars, airplanes, any of that stuff, 2 strokes. I've got 2 equal lengths cut, and what I did was I just pushed up the boot, and this is going to limit how far this is going to go down. So I'm covering up the majority of the shaft. So the next thing we're going to do is get our shock pliers on here. We're going to get the end link off. And then we're just going to add our fuel tubing. Now, pushing it all the way to the bottom once this piece is on, and then that's all the travel that I'll get. There's one. I'm going to go ahead and knock out the other one, and we'll be right back. All right, so got the other one put back together. Now we're going to get our shocks put back on. These little bushing things are wore out. Body mounts sure do get in the way. All right. Help if these top bushings weren't all wore out. Right. So now when we accelerate, that's as low as we can go, which is pretty much even with the front, which is good because that's going to make lifting the front really hard off grip off these rear tires. So we got 1, 2, that's 3 ounces of weight. That's 6 ounces of weight. Okay, that's a 6-ounce weight. Okay, so I just need to get it in here. Start that. Now with my rustler, I had to do this. There we go. 6 ounces of weight. Normally I would start off with 3.5 ounces on road, but I figured I'd do 6. Oh yeah, that's a lot of weight that the rear has to lift now. That's all of our changes. Now we're going to get out, charge up these batteries, and run again. So I'm going to get the rest of the poop taken off of this body. Yeah, that's really light in the back, really heavy on the front, just with 6 ounces, which isn't that much. It's a lot when you're talking about the length of the RC. You know, you're talking about 6 ounces in this scale. That's like 600 pounds that the rear wheels would have to try to lift if this was a 10-foot car. So that would be, what did they say, 60 pounds up front. 10-foot car is 600 pounds the rear wheels has to try to lift. So if you break it down into the 1/7 scale, you can imagine every ounce on the front nose what it's going to take for these rear tires to get traction and try to lift the front of this car. Now we are faced with rocks, bumps, uneven terrain, and that can also help throw up the front end. So, and once you get that front end up, it's pretty hard to get it in the run to set it back down. You pretty much, the whole run has to keep the front end down. So I'm going to get these batteries charged up. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. We're going to get this thing charged up. We're going to get back to the park. We're going to see how fast we can go with 6 ounces on the front, relieving some air out of the body and stiffening up these rear shocks. Comment down below, what do you think? How are we going to do? We're going to get to 80, 90, 100 miles an hour tomorrow? Let me know. Comment below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on my next video.